Look, styles make fights. It's not a good matchup for him. It's not a good matchup for him. He's a good fighter. He's not a bad fighter. He's not on the level of the Mac.
From what I saw the other day, he would knock anyone out at that division. For sure, dude. It's night and day, to be honest. I actually couldn't.
Really?
I said I couldn't believe it. I saw him hit pads for Cerrone and I saw him hit pads for this, and I was like, holy fuck, you know, it's crazy difference.
And when Conor's knocked out a lot of these guys and he smoked a lot of these guys, the moment got to these guys. Like Cowboy Cerrone, he even admitted it. The moment got to him when Conor's standing there. Jose Aldo, when he's all tense, the moment got to him. Max Holloway, the moment's not going to get to Max Holloway. He's familiar. He's familiar with these high pressure situations and familiar recently with them. And I think, again, early on, Conor is going to have still the same whip he has. He's going to have the same, damn near the same speed he has at 155 pounds, I believe, but it's going to be heavier. And if Max eats one of those early on, it's going to be a scary, scary thing.
I think it's interesting. We always talk about Max's chin every fight he's in. Like the narrative about his chin, is it ready to go yet? Comes up. He has been dropped in his last few. I think a lot of this is about how Max translates to 70, right?
You take away all Max's advantages by taking away his speed. He doesn't possess the same power as Conor. We saw that in their first fight. When you make this fight at 170, you take away Max's speed. You take away all his best advantages. When you watched him versus Calvin Kattar, that was the best version of Max I think we've ever seen. But even 55, it's better. Even 55, I would even tolerate Max Holloway at 55 and Conor at 55. Conor could make 55. But if you make it at 170, you slow down Max, you take away all these angles, all this speed, all the punch count. It changes things. When I'm training at 165 pounds versus when I train at 153 pounds, that's a huge difference. My speed's better at 153. I can move. My cardio's better. My longevity in the rounds goes better.
You know, Max is kind of a builder in those 5-round fights. He has a low output of striking in the early rounds and a low success rate, and a high output of striking in the later rounds and a high success rate. So that gives Conor time to start pressuring without too much damage coming in his direction. That would probably be a good time to open up with kicks and do some damage to his legs and body and start to kind of diversify the attacks that Max has got to think about. You know, kind of like what he did with Cowboy.
I honestly believe Conor can, Conor has that scary timing. He has that scary timing. Everybody that's fought him says that. That timing, and he has that sneaky power. Everybody that fights him says when he hits you, you feel it. Yeah. And, it just takes one. It just takes one.
McGregor's going to be like in full flow, looking for that left hand. Mate, when he's on form, like his fight with Eddie Alvarez, in my opinion, was his best performance ever. Mate, absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. How does he look after, 6 years off? That's going to be the interesting factor, but me, like everybody else, I'm excited to see McGregor back in there. My career's been very stop-start. Not as much as McGregor's. 6 years off is a long time, but sometimes I felt better. Like, I've come back and I felt better, like in a better spot mentally.
It's any fight that Conor's in within reason in terms of his weight class. It is a winnable fight. Like, that's Conor fucking McGregor at the end of the day. Think what you want about him. That guy's been magical at times. There's a chance that he shows up with some newfound magic and he's rolled back the hands of time and we see Conor of old. But I think that if he's really sharp and he's really pushed his conditioning to where he doesn't have to be concerned with gassing early in the fight, and he really pushes the pace and he keeps the pressure on Max and he keeps Max moving backward, Conor does such a good job of opening up his lead foot and punching across his body. If that guy shows up, this is going to be a night to remember.
If Conor gets to, 24 minutes and 50 seconds in that fight, what's he going to be like at 24 minutes and 50 seconds of a fight when that last 10-second clapper goes? It's not going to be good. I think he's got to win in the first or second round. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. He's not a 5-round fighter. He has not changed that in these 5 years based on his lifestyle and the things he's doing. Again, I think he's coming in shape. I think he's coming strong, and I think he's coming powerful. And I think he's coming with the mentality of knowing I'm going to go after his ass in that first 5 minutes. If he gets out of that, I'm going after his ass in that first 10 minutes.
If McGregor starts fast and he's locked in and he starts stinging Holloway, who, let's face it, is primarily a boxer. He doesn't do much else. Couple stomps, couple little tappy kicks here and there, but he's primarily going to be boxing with McGregor here. And McGregor's got fucking hands. Okay? McGregor has got hands. We still ain't seen guys doing shit that he did to Eddie Alvarez since.
Max's style always leaves him open, right? Max's style was predicated on the fact that his chin was godly, right? He has landed so many more strikes than anybody else in human history, but he has also absorbed more strikes than anybody in human history. So yes, like the skill that Max has is a relentlessness and a chin that has held up against the toughest opposition. Ilia Topuria cracked that chin. If Conor McGregor can hit him at this new, bigger, more powerful version of Conor McGregor can hit him, there's definitely a chance that he leaves himself open.
So obviously for Conor, tremendous power in that left hand, very, very good vision, very fluid with his movements. You know, even the way, when I talk about like the check cross, we talk about the check punches a lot. The best check cross I have ever seen in the UFC, the best check cross I've ever seen in my life was actually the one against Jose Aldo. So Conor McGregor, really good vision, good game planning. John Kavanagh's an incredible coach. And like I said, it's the power, the fluidity in his movements, the spinning attacks. For me, it's not like we've seen him really land these spinning attacks, but they're within his tool bag. He's got spinning attacks.
Yeah, spinning wheel kicks done with full force. Yeah, I mean, if one of those lands and the heel connects, that's the type of shot that could put Max to sleep because he's very durable, as we know. And by the way, that's the type of shot, if Conor McGregor was to land that in the first round, the whole world is going to lose its goddamn man. Could you imagine first round spinning wheel kick or whatever it is, first round knockout?
The thing that I think the punching power is going to be there regardless. Conor's going to come back from the injury and still have that natural punching power. What the question for me is the timing, the athleticism, the movement, all those questions need to be answered. I don't know. You know, we haven't seen him. So I don't know if his counter punching and his timing is anywhere near what it was. He has a chance to beat Max, you know?
There's so many different ways to skin the cat to win a mixed martial arts contest. And to be fair, McGregor showed that in his first fight against Max Holloway. If you recall, he was going out, he was looking really good, he was looking smooth on the feet, he was clearly winning the fight, but then he tore his ACL. So in the third round, he took down Max Holloway.
You will see that. Look, you got to go back. He was successful with that against Max. He doesn't, it's not like he's forgotten that. And you know, if it's more for something to Max to have to think about, that's a good thing for Conor. So don't be surprised if, you know, as Nate Diaz said, oh, now you're a wrestler. He might become a wrestler for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, Conor is this world-class wrestler or grappler or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him mix things up with takedowns. I think, obviously, he was forced more so than he wanted to in that first fight due to the torn ACL during their fight. I wouldn't be surprised, especially coming off that loss against Charles Oliveira. You know, you know, and Charles Oliveira, I think, he's improved his takedowns, but he's not a world-class wrestler either. And if I'm trying to win rounds or tire out Max Holloway or mix things up and keep him guessing, I wouldn't be surprised to see McGregor integrate some wrestling in this fight.
Honestly, this is what I think. I think he's going to wrestle a little bit. It all makes sense to me why he wanted. Well, I think he wanted this fight to be bigger because he don't want to cut the weight, which is understandable. But then he chose a traditional flyweight to move up 2 weight classes to fight. And then after seeing what Charles Oliveira did to Max, you go, man, I think I can do that to him too. I think he wrestles this fight. I mean, obviously he's going to strike, and he's a very accurate striker, but I think he's going to try to use, like you said, his physicality to out wrestle Max. I think that's That, and like I've seen like a picture of him training, and he's shooting a takedown, just in a picture.
Yeah.
But I think because I actually think the size is going to hurt him in the striking department.
You think he's going to be slower?
I think he's going to be slower.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be too slow for Max on the feet, especially the longer it goes. I think he's going to be too slow.
Yeah.
I think he's going to try to use his weight to grab Max and hold on to him.
I think Conor has something up his sleeve. He's big, he's bulky. He's gonna say, I'm gonna have to be really using everything I can here. I gotta use anything I can here. If I gotta kill the clock, if I gotta stretch this out, kind of like the analogy I always use in your sport, when Tom Brady was great, one of the ways that you beat him was to keep him on the bench, keep him off the field. Keep him off the field. He can't hurt you. And after 5 years, if you can get Holloway on the floor for a few minutes and kill some of the clock that way, and then you don't have to purely be striking the whole 5-minute round, you give yourself a little bit of a better chance to navigate yourself to what would be incredible upset at this point with everything we're looking at.
But I actually interviewed John Kavanaugh. It's only going to be, and John's not doing any media except for the interview he did with me, and it's going to be on mixedmartialarts.com. It was a great interview, and while he's not going to give away specifics of their game plan, obviously, because I was asking like, what do you see differently at 170? Because he's been his coach since he was a kid, basically, and he said, the reflexes are still there, the timing is still there, but what he felt was strength in the grappling department is what he mentioned specifically. And John Kavanaugh is an amazing jiu-jitsu and grappling mind, as well as striking. I shouldn't just make it that way, but I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
Could we see a crafty McGregor grappling game plan? I don't think so. But it would be the last thing Holloway expects. Can you imagine? McGregor's been keeping up to date with his grappling, and he's going to have a size advantage and a strength advantage. Imagine he goes out there, runs a grappling clinic on Holloway for 5 rounds.
He can't come back and do that. If he comes back and does that.
Imagine Conor takes him down and holds him down for 5 rounds, Oliveira style. People would be sick to their stomach. In fact, I've never rooted for McGregor more than now. Hoping for that to happen, actually.
If he does exactly what he did in round 3 and just follows up, is like exactly where we left off, that would just be hilarious.
Respect. Whatever he's got to do, get the win. Respect. He's got to do what he's got to do.
Sheer confidence comes through preparation, and the preparation has been very, very meticulous and very detailed. It is not. I'm not just boasting on it or blagging on it. It is meticulous preparation for this bout that has my confidence where it is. So I'm excited to showcase our work, my team's work.
There are parts of me that forgot how good he is, truly. How truly good he is. And we're sitting here questioning whether or not he can beat Max Holloway. Guys, he already beat Max Holloway. There's not a question if he can beat Max. He beat Max. Now, let's go back. Because this all ties in. Look, if McGregor's going to do it, he's got one way to do it. He's going to have to knock him out. Does Conor have the right idea in mind? Yes, I'm quite confident he does. Does Conor understand the task at hand, which is I must knock this young man out? Yes, I believe that Conor does. Does Conor want to go out and have that kind of a fight? Is that what he envisions? Is that what right now he thinks is cool? Yeah, I believe that very strongly.